y'all, welcome back to my channel and back to another video, another Foodie Friday. So today I have a very highly requested video. For those of you who don't know, my name's Shauna. I have a 1-year-old son named Charlie, and I make a veggie fruit puree that I put in his yogurt for his breakfast every day. And I've shown this in a couple of my What My Toddler Eats in a Day videos, which I will leave linked up above if you're interested in checking those out, as well as down below. But anyways, I've had a couple requests to show you how I make the puree that I put into the yogurt. So today that is what I'm sharing with you. It is like a berry applesauce with spinach in it puree. So it's a good way to hide some veggies in your kids' food. I gave this to Charlie just as a puree when he was still little and eating purees. And then once he got past the puree stage, I started putting it in his yogurt for breakfast every day. So he gets some spinach and some berries and mixed in with his just plain whole milk yogurt every morning. And he loves it. He eats it up, gobbles it up. I think he would eat double what I give him if I let him, but I usually want him to have something else on the side too, like bananas or healthy pancakes or something like that. Anyways, I've talked long enough now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on into the video and show you guys how I make my son's berry applesauce with spinach. So for this recipe, you're gonna need some apples. I ended up using 3 total, some organic baby spinach, and a bag of mixed berries. I just use these organic berry blend that has blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries in it. Next, you're gonna wanna put a little bit of water in the bottom of a large pot, and with a steamer, so that you can start boiling it while you are peeling the apples. Now I am just going to peel and chop up the apples. Technically, you don't have to peel them if you don't want to. Since this is for a baby though, I do peel them so that there's no large chunks of skin in the applesauce. Just with small kids, you want to make sure you don't have the skins on there because they could choke on them. And then you also want to make sure you're getting all the core and seeds out as well, and just chopping them into little chunks and then putting them into the large pot that has water that has started boiling. I used 2 Red Delicious apples at first, and then I decided I needed 1 more apple, so all we had left were Granny Smith. So there is a Granny Smith apple in here as well. You can really use any kind of apples you want though. It'll just give it a little bit different flavor, whichever apples you choose. Then you will just want to steam the apples until they start to get a little soft. Not too soft though, because you are going to be adding in other stuff and letting them steam just a little bit longer. So just until they start to get a little soft. About 8 minutes-ish. Once they are soft and kind of cooked down a little bit, we are going to go ahead and add in our bag of frozen berries, as well as a 5-ounce bag of spinach. You can use more or less spinach depending on how much spinach you want in your child's applesauce. And then you're just gonna wanna cook it for another minute or 2 until the spinach starts to wilt. As you can see here, it's starting to wilt. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it and move on to the next step. Now I'm just gonna take this in sections into the food processor, making sure I try to get equal parts spinach, berries, and apples in each little section, and blending it in a food processor. If you had a larger food processor, you could just do this all in one go, but I just have this tiny one, so it takes a few rounds in the food processor to get everything in there. We just want to blend it up until it's an applesauce consistency. Here you can see kind of the consistency that it is. I'm just adding more. I'm going to blend it up again until everything is done. So here you can see the final applesauce. It's all in this large orange bowl. And now I'm just going to show you how I add it to yogurt that is just whole milk plain yogurt, and I'm just going to put about half of that into one of these little dip containers and then half applesauce and mix it together. This time I went ahead and prepared the weeks for them, so I went ahead and did 5 of them so we'd have some for each school day during the week. And I put them in I love these little dip containers that I got from the grocery store. They are so handy. And I mix it up a little bit with a spoon, and then I usually end up shaking it up because that just works easier to mix it. And that's what it looks like in the end. That is the yogurt that he gets every morning for breakfast. So I'm just going to continue that for the next 5 so that he has some for all week, and then I'll show you how I store it, the extra. So now that I've mixed all the yogurts for the week, I'm just going to take the extra applesauce and put it in these little containers and stick them in the freezer to use next week. And they're really handy. I just pull one of these out at a time and it'll last me 4 or 5 days of making yogurt with it. So that's it, you guys. That's how I make my son's berry applesauce. I will put the extra in the freezer and just unfreeze it as I need it. I usually go through one of those little containers about every 4 days or so. And then I'll just, like I said, just mix it in with his yogurt every morning. And that's it, you guys. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button because we would love to have you join our family. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, y'all.